Today I want to talk about what I'm hoping for out of the Google Pixel 5, hopefully launching in late 2020. And as weird as it may seem, I actually want to use the Essential PH1 as a comparison point for this discussion. And the reason I want to do that is I think the Essential PH1, a phone that launched in 2017 from a brand new company, excelled in all of the areas that the Google Pixel line historically, and especially the Google Pixel 4, has struggled in. And I think that if Google were able to copy or learn from or iterate upon the strengths of the Essential PH1, they'd be able to create a spectacular phone that most Android users would have a really hard time saying no to. For those of you who don't know about the Essential PH1, it was a phone released in 2017 by a company called Essential, which was pioneered by Andy Rubin. Andy Rubin had previously worked at Google overseeing the development of Android, which is the open source operating system for almost all non-Apple smartphones. Andy Rubin left Google and started Essential, where he created the PH1, the device you're looking at on the screen right now. The Essential was beloved by many who used it, with its main draws being the smaller, more comfortable form factor, the premium quality build, and the simple vanilla Android operating system. The thing that Essential really got right with the PH1 is the aesthetic design and the build quality of the device. And I think that's something that Google could learn from and hopefully implement in the Pixel line to make a better phone. The PH1's ceramic back and titanium frame makes the device both beautiful to look at and a pleasure to handle. Anyone who's ever picked up a PH1 knows what I'm talking about. The only phones that come anywhere close to feeling as premium as the PH1 are the most recent iPhones, and I'm talking about the X, XS, and 11 Pro to be more specific. Another nice feature of the PH1 is the lack of a camera bump. This isn't that big of a deal, but it's a pretty nice feature for people who don't want to put their phone in a case. That being said, I think the majority of people are willing to deal with a camera bump if it means better camera quality. Another thing that the PH1 got right was screen to body ratio, and they were able to get this right in 2017 when screen to body ratio was still an emerging trend. The PH1 has an 85% screen-to-body ratio with minimal side and top bezels and a small chin at the bottom. The teardrop camera cutout was tastefully done in a time when front-facing camera cutouts and notches were still a very new thing. Now in comparison, the Google Pixel 4 technically has an 84% screen-to-body ratio, which is pretty close to the 85% of the Essential PH1, but the decision to keep the larger bezel on the top of the phone makes it look much worse compared to having the larger bezel on the bottom of the phone. I hope that the Google Pixel 5 will either go back to the notch that's seen in the Google Pixel 3 XL, or else find another way to improve its screen-to-body ratio, such as using a hole punch cutout like we see with the most recent Samsung Galaxies. Alternatively, I'd be really excited to see a motorized pop-up camera like we see in the OnePlus 7 Pro, though that's incredibly unlikely and wishful thinking considering we've heard no rumors that Google's had any interest in developing that technology. Lastly, I think the Google Pixel 4's corners on both the frame and the screen are way too rounded, and it looks a little bit outdated. I'd really like to see the Pixel 5 adopt a boxier shape with sharper corners like we're seeing in newer devices such as the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. Disappointingly, the latest renders from John Prosser, a well-trusted source from Front Page Tech, shows the same large bezel and rounded corners. I was, however, able to find some exciting renders from several other sources that show what the Pixel 5 might look like with a hole punch cutout, including this Pixel 4a render that appears to have a very high screen-to-body ratio. Based on all of the leaks we have so far, I think that this render from Sarang Sheth is the perfect balance between being realistic and being hopeful. The top bezel is still present, but it's a fair amount thinner, and the corners are much sharper, giving the device a much more updated look. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments what you would like to see in the Google Pixel 5. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe. It really helps this small channel grow.